Hi there, I'd like to show you how to make this really easy, colorful shaker card. All the supplies that I use I will list in the video description, and here's my website. If you'd like to shop with me, I would love to send you a free product from our current catalog. Here's a host code. You enter that in your shopping bag before you check out, and make sure that my name, Sharon Scalzi, comes up at the top of the screen. It's celebration right now, so through the end of September you can choose a free item for every $50 or $100 that you order. So now's a great time to shop. And if you have any questions, please leave your comments, and I'll answer them as best as I can. Okay, so to make this really cute shaker card, I am using the stamp set Hippo Happiness. Isn't that cute? Hippo Happiness. And then the coordinating dies, Hippo and Friends. Now, you use our cut and emboss machine to cut out these shapes, but I've used them to cut out the shapes of the animals that are in the set. This is a great set of dies because you also get all these great layering label shapes, as well as a balloon, a string, butterfly, flower, and so it's a great set of dies. I'm also using the seasonal label dies, which are in our holiday catalog. You can view all of these things online though. This is the seasonal labels dies, and there's a coordinating stamp set that I'm not using in our project, but I'm using this label die for our Hippo birthday. So in case you're wondering where I got that cute little label, it is in seasonal labels. And then one other set of dies that I'm using is the Picture This die. Now this is the die that makes it so easy to make shaker cards. So this die comes with either rectangles or circles. This is the die that I've used for my card. It cuts out great windows on the front of your card, and each window, I don't know if you can see, each window has stitching around it, so it's just a nice little detail. Also, when you die cut with this, you get the 6 circles that you can use on another project, or when you use the rectangle, you get 3 rectangles that can be used on another project. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1 deal. Do the work once, get 2 projects out of it. Okay, so those are our stamp set and dies. And then I'm also using black cardstock, basic white cardstock, and our rainbow glimmer paper. So this is one part of the paper. This is another part of the paper. It's really great glimmer paper because you have the whole rainbow to choose from on each shape. And let me find that in the catalog. So you can see here, it's a 12 by 12 piece of glimmer paper, and it runs the full spectrum of the rainbow. So you can use whichever part appeals to you most. Okay, I'm also using window sheets. Might be hard to see because it's clear. And I'm using matte black dots. I'm using our Take Your Pick tool. So if you've wondered how that works, I'll show you one of its many uses. Tear and tape, and also our foam adhesive strips. Okay, I've even used some mini glue dots, which these animals are already attached to, and our shaker shapes. And I'm also using tear and tape. Okay. All right, so let me just show you how this comes together. So to put our animals in the little windows, I've already stamped these and die cut them. Okay, I've attached them to mini glue dots, and then I'm going to actually put these behind my card front. You could put these in however you wanted to. So I have my hippo down there. I have my horse up here. Let's see, I want him to kind of be jumping out of the window. And since his tail is showing, I'm just going to snip that little bit of his tail off because he doesn't need it. Okay. Let's see. Oh, and then we have our little lamb. And she's going to be right up here in this top window. Okay. So the colors I used for these animals, the sheep is So Saffron and Mango Melody. Our horse is Bermuda Bay and Coastal Cabana. And then our hippopotamus is Fresh Freesia and Gorgeous Grape. And then their faces have been stamped with Memento, which is our black ink. Okay? All right, so the next thing that we need to do is attach our window. And you can do that with whatever adhesive works for you. I don't recommend liquid adhesive because I don't think it would dry very well on the acetate sheet, the window sheet. I'm just going to use some tear and tape because it's handy. You could use Seal Plus, you could use mini glue dots, just whatever adhesive you're comfortable with. And just get this on here. So this is to attach our window, and the window is what keeps the shapes from going all over the place. So I'm just going to put a little bit there as well. And I'm just going to peel this off, hopefully quickly. Nobody wants to watch this part. It's really boring. It's like watching paint dry or grass grow. So let me yank these off really quick. All right. 2 more. All right. So that is done. And now we'll add our window sheet. And this is cut just a smidgen smaller than my black card front. So my black card front is 4 by 5 1/4. And then my window sheet is just inside 5 by 4 1/4. So it's just a hair, a 1/16. And so that's glued on there now. Now the next step is to add our foam pieces, because that's what will keep our shapes in. And so I only need to go around the windows where my shapes are going to be. So let me show you how I do that. So you put this down. These are great. You get a lot of long strips. You can cut them to the length you want, or you can just cut as you go. But these get put around the windows. And it really, the first one might take you a little bit of time, but once you get the hang of it, these are so easy to work with. Okay, so here's my first circle, and it's okay if this peels off while you're working. It's perfectly all right. These are very flexible, and so the liners tend to pop off. Okay, so let me do this circle here, this little window. And I'm just kind of sticking it down, then bending it to fit. I don't want it right on the line, right on the edge of my circle. I want it to sit back just a little bit. Okay, and I always save these little pieces because this is what's actually going to add the rest of the support to our card. So I'll just use those as I go. Every piece can be used. Let me grab another strip. Okay, we have one more. Now I could do shaker shapes in all of the windows, but I just wanted to do the ones that didn't have animals. So of course you could do your card however you like. Let me just get that right around. Okay, so you'll notice I've made the circle so there's not an opening big enough for my shapes to fall out of. We want to keep those corralled. And then I'm going to go ahead and add strips around the outside of the card. And that's just to make sure everything is the same height and doesn't, you know, get creased or pressed down. Everything just stays nice and raised up. Okay, so I've gone all the way around Lots of support there. And then I want to add a piece here just to make sure. Maybe just one more teeny tiny piece. Just for support. Okay, so that's easy, right? Easy peasy. And then we're going to add our shapes. Now you can add anything to a shaker card. You can add sequins, glitter, little tiny beads. I've seen cards made with teeny tiny seashells and sand. So anything you want to add into your shaker card. These are actually called shaker shapes. And they're like a, almost like a foam material. So they're not staticky. So they don't cling to the window. They don't stick to your finger really. And so they're easy to work with. So I don't want to put too many in because I want there to be some shaking action. If you put too many in, they don't move. So then that's just kind of silly because they don't shake. All right, so there's my shapes. Now for the fun part. So I'm going to pull off all of these liners because these foam strips are double-sided. And let's see. Just get a hold of that. Now note I'm holding this still because I don't want to flip my shaker pieces every which way. So I want to kind of make sure they stay in my windows while I peel these off. Sorry, I know this is really boring to watch me peel these off. But let's just see how we do. Oh, and then this one. I think that's all of them. So peel all of these off. Now, oh, this one too. Now, how am I going to get this onto my card? Well, let me show you. I love Stampin' Up! Grid paper, and we have lots of grid paper designs to choose from. So what I'm doing is I'm just using the grid. I'm just picking a corner and lining up my card. And then I'm going to take this, which is cut to, actually, I told you the wrong measurement. This card front is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This layer is 4 by 5 1/4. And then this black piece is 3 3/4 by 5. So I did tell you the wrong measurement. Sorry about that. But since this is bigger, it's hard to see if I'm lining it up right or not. So I put my card front down on the grid paper as straight as I can, you know, get it. And then this is just a little bit bigger. So I'm going to actually use these lines to go above where my card front is and then just kind of set that down. And I'm doing black on black, so if it's a little bit crooked, it won't really show. And you always want to give it a shake because you want to make sure none of your shapes are going to fall out. But that's basically how you do it. And so this would get mounted to my card. Let's see, I guess I didn't grab any other adhesive. I'll just use some more tear and tape. Tear and tape is, I would say, our strongest adhesive. It's really great for making 3D projects like boxes because it keeps the box from coming apart, so it's very strong. Some people like to cut it with scissors, but it's called tear and tape because you can just tear it. Also, I'm using it on the back of my label because this is going to be across the cardstock, the window sheet. I want to make sure it stays on there. So I will definitely use tear and tape on this. You could use whatever adhesive you normally use to assemble your cards on this part. Okay. All right, so now I'm just going to attach this to the front of my card. And this is going to be attached as well. Let me peel that lining off. Okay, and this is going to go right down here at the bottom. Hippo birthday. So silly. Okay, and then I'm going to add some matte black dots just to tie my label into the rest of the card. So I'm going to use our Take Your Pick tool. Now this has a lot of attachments. Right now I'm just using the tacky tip, and you can see there's blue in there. That's actually a tacky material. You turn this just so that it starts to come out, and then you turn it back just a little bit, and that'll keep it from just pushing all of it out. And then to pick up these little embellishments, I just push the tip on there and it'll pick it up. I can set it down and give it a good press and it'll stay. So let me show you again. So I just push the tacky part onto my embellishment and just kind of slide it, and it picks it up and holds it in place until I get it right where I want it. So the Take Your Pick tool has a lot of purposes. This is one of my favorite ones, is getting these tiny embellishments off the plastic sheet and onto my project. Okay, well, I hope you like this little shaker card, and maybe you'll want to pick up the Picture This dies. Maybe you'll want to copy my card, but at least with the Picture This dies, you can make circle windows, rectangle windows, and you can make really simple, quick and easy shaker cards. So thanks for joining me today. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them under the video. I'd love to hear what you have to say. So thanks a lot for joining me. Bye-bye.